our head, like we can departmentalize, like we are cognitive of what we're thinking. Like, does he know, like, okay, I'm walking because I got to get to somewhere, or do they just know, I'm walk, like, this is walking and there's
Okay.
no reasoning behind it? Like, do they like, do
All
they
right. So
process
so
things?
boom. How sophisticated are a baby's thought process at one? Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I think it's just instinct and how we're born. Just like with Venus, I'm like, when we got her, she went outside. She like when they scratched the ground after they used the bathroom or whatever. Like some of that stuff is just instinct. She
No, no,
instinctively
no.
goes to the door. Like so, like how we're born too is the same thing with babies. They instinctively walk or do stuff, or they don't have to, like, just like with us, we move our hands, we make movements without having to really think about it.
No, facts, facts. Don't think I'm even still asking it correctly to y'all. I asked it right to my pediatrician. I just can't really think. But I mean, ultimately, I think what he was saying, like I said, was that they have so many thoughts that they don't understand what's going on up there at that age.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, I don't think they're aware of processing like we are. They're just going off of instinct for the most part, and their brains are like sponges. So like what they see and hear, they
Hmm.
learn and pick up faster than we do.
Yeah. Crew, be careful,
And
baby.
they just repeat. They do what they see. They repeat what they see and repeat what they hear.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's awesome to me. I think this shit is, even though I grew up in a huge family, I've seen so many babies grow up, but like, it's insane to me just, yeah, how much he really does know and how much he does friggin' take in.
So the AI was saying that basically at 1 year old, a baby thought process is still quite basic. It's becoming more organized and intentional. They don't consciously analyze their actions like an adult does, but they do learn through repeated experience and begin to show early signs of intentional thinking.
Okay,
So
okay.
how sophisticated is a thought 1 year old thought process? What they can do cognitively? They understand cause and effect. If I drop this, it make a noise.
Oh, for sure. That's why they keep doing it. What? Baba. No, no. Mm-mm.
They're
Baba's
show
broken.
goal directed behavior, meaning I want that toy, so I'm gonna crawl or walk over there to get it. They recognize, yeah, familiar people and routines. They begin to solve simple problems, like removing a lid off of something to get to a snack, or like how you might have that gate up, to they blocked on this side, so they figure out how if I creep over this way, I can get around. Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, do you even still have the gate up, or he just kept getting through that you just gave up on the gate?
No, I gave up on that shit.
Yeah, yeah. He kept finding ways around it or through
Yeah,
it.
my son is slick as hell.
There you go. So cognitive
Mm-mm, that
thinking.
boy, he's Houdini. I'd be like, what the hell?
So then it's saying
Yeah,
they
my
said
like even I'm not just saying it because he's my son, but he definitely is very hip to a lot of things.
so yeah, they say that this is pre-verbal, pre-logical thinking, meaning they don't plan abstractly or reflect on their own thoughts, but they are, putting some shit together. Does a baby know they're walking? That was the specific sub question that I asked. A 1 year old doesn't think I'm walking now in a reflective or verbal way. Um, basically it's learned through trial, muscle memory, and repetition. So basically, kind of like what Trish was touching on.
Yeah, just human instinct.
Yeah, but it do say like that their brain, subconsciously is working to balance their body, coordinate their movement, adjust posture based on surfaces or obstacles. So, if you take them to the park and y'all might be walking up a slight hill, you might see them leaning forward slightly to
Yeah, yeah. He didn't
compensate.
know how to walk down my driveway at first, but now he got it
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because I'm kind of on
exactly.
a hill.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, he
Um,
kept falling because he thought he could walk regular. You know what I mean? But then he realized, like, oh shit, I got to put my body forward more, and he
ex-
got it.
so yeah, what they saying, while it feel automatic to us, for a baby, it's still a very conscious effort. And in the example of that hill situation, they have to make that adjustment. Now that's a definite, obviously, I gotta think this shit through in real time.
Yes, and you do, and it's funny because I can see him plotting like when he's getting down from like a little cliff. I could see him in his mind. He puts his one foot down and then he puts his others down. Like he'd be doing the 1-2.
Hmm.
Oh, that's how you do with stairs too. Like,
Yeah,
if you had a two-story house, it'll be, they climb the stairs a certain way.
And
too
then
funny. No, then climbs the stairs crazy. When we were at, oh my god, I was like, oh no, I don't know if I need stairs with the way you was. He was, man, going up them shits 240, getting up and down, up and down. I'm like, oh no, I might have to stay one level.
and then it go further and say they don't analyze it, but they know walking gets them to a goal. They get excited by success, so they'll clap or laugh or smile, and then they gonna try again and again, even if they keep falling, which shows intent and learning. So
Yeah, yeah, I do love that about babies. Like they just don't give up, even though it pisses me off half the time with his ass. But I do love that. Like that'd be like cool to see. Like they if they want that one thing wherever it's at, they gonna get it.
and that's that to and to tie it to like a higher level, Jim, for us adults. That's where we gotta get back to. Like,
I know. Why do we
shit,
lose
shit,
that? What do you
shit.
think?
Get
Like, what do
it's
you think?
society.
Failure,
It's society.
failure.
I think it's just society on a whole of just everyday real life. The what's the word? I want to say rigmarole, but that maybe is that an up north thing only? Do anybody know what I mean when I say the rigmarole? Like the the
Rigmarole.
the the,
No,
the
maybe that my
monotony,
mom probably would.
the monotony of just work, coming
That's
home,
what I'm
doing
saying. Like
this.
our dreams, maybe. Like okay, that's why they say kids believe in magic because
Mm,
they're not jaded. We're jaded.
exactly.
We're
Yeah, yeah.
you
Niggas
know
been
we're
worn
like
down by life.
we're
Yeah, they
the real
basically.
world, like adulthood, literally, like it just takes all the faith out of you. Why? Like, god
And
damn.
then like
Where's the sparkle? Why isn't the sparkle here no more?
and like somebody said recently, I can't remember who, because I heard this shit like 2 or 3 days ago, which is why it's still fresh. As an adult, as adults, as far as your dreams, your goals, you gotta plan them out like adults, but you gotta believe in them shits like you a child. That's the magic. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's why a child ain't gonna stop doing if that motherfucker, forget my language, but if the child in his mind thinking when he in the backyard playing, when he get around 4 or 5 and get into his real bag of just being full boy getting dirty 24/7. If he digging a hole in the backyard and he thinking he gonna dig a hole to the other side of the earth, the hole might only be like 2 inches deep, but in his mind he done dug all the way down to China. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the energy that we gotta reconnect with as adults and keep that energy, because we've been taught, oh, stop being childish. That's it right there, I think. And it's our parents too, low key, even though they don't realize how subconsciously that may have affected us. Oh, you stop doing that. That's, you're not a child anymore. you know, Male or female. I'm sure we've all been told that or heard that in many forms or different ways. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of killed us too in a lot of ways, because they gave up on life with whatever the fuck they was really trying to do. Like kids, you ask them, what do you want to be? I want to be an astronaut. The next
Right.
the next day, what do you want to be? I want to be a
I want to be a scientist.
exactly. And I remember saying that dumb shit, not dumb shit, I literally
No,
wanted to
but
be a
that's but
scientist.
but no, but that's what I'm saying. Why, as adults, do we feel that way? But like when kids were like, "Damn, this is so possible."
Yeah,
Like
yeah, and it is. It is.
that's why they say they see people too.
Innocence too.
They
You
believe
know,
goat, like they could see the angels and all that crazy
Oh yeah,
shit.
yeah. There's that connection, like on that metaphysical level. Like a lot of times when a baby be staring off into the damn corner somewhere, and you like, what the hell are they looking
hmm
at? They probably
Yeah.
still, especially when they like in that newborn to, I'm assuming maybe 6 months up to that first year, they still fresh on this side of things. So they probably got that connection. That connection is still there. They might see Pop Pop or Grandpa or whoever, you feel me? And they ain't even paying your ass no mind because they looking at them. They still more tied to the ancestors than you since they came from over there.
yeah. Plus, we lose our innocence. As we get older, at first we may start off believing in Santa Claus, and we get told that's not real. That's not real. But this not real. This is how life really is. Well, I thought this was magical, and I can do X, Y, Z. Nope, can't do that. So as you grow up, kids lose their innocence. That's why it says best to try to keep kids as innocent as possible, and don't let them grow up too fast, because it's like the world already gonna make them grow up fast, but like
No, that's
they
a
lose
fact.
that innocence.
Hmm.
No, that is true. Just the hope. Like I'm like, God damn, who kills our hope? like like I know
Unfortunately,
my mom was really
a
big
lot of
on
times it be like our parents, it be our teachers.
Yeah, I was gonna say for me, I feel like it was more my aunts. Obviously, they was older, and I always wanted to be around them. So I think I grew up a little fast. Not fast in the sense of fast meaning sexually, but like just always thinking I was older than I was because I always wanted to be around my aunts and her friends. But then my mom would treat me like a baby, so I also knew my place as a kid too. But um, yeah, I would say it definitely is the parents because my mom always told me you could be whatever you want to be. That was one thing I always commend her on was always saying I could do whatever I put my mind to.
Yeah,
But yeah, that sparkle and that that definitely went away for me. Probably when adulthood really started being
right.
adulthood.
Like I think personally throughout my life, like I've had moments where I reconnected with it, but I
Almost
didn't
done, baby.
consistently hold on to that energy. Like,
Right, right. I do be trying to say now, like, you could do whatever you put your mind to. You could do whatever you put your mind to. And I still do try to have the sparkle in things, but like I said, we're just jaded. Like I don't even feel like people tell the truth damn near anymore. Like I'd be questioning everything people say. Not y'all, of course. I just mean like people that I come across. Like I'd be like, I wonder if that's true.
well,
Like that's terrible.
the most important truth is the truth that you got to tell yourself for whatever your thing is. Ultimately, all the external shit don't matter. So going back to like with me, like I want to make this YouTube thing pop and blow. I've got to believe in it like I'm five.
No, 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 for sure. Those type of things, yeah, you got to. Like, look, like we always say, look at Kanye. Like, if
Mhm.
that nigga didn't go every day and believe in himself, where shit, he'd probably be on the side of the street.
Exactly. That nigga got supreme confidence, but that supreme
Yes.
confidence comes from, even though it shows a little too much sometimes, he has that childlike energy of I could do whatever I want. I could do anything, and it's a good and bad thing. But you know what I mean. I commend him for at least holding on to that energy.
Yeah, he said his mom gave him that. Like, his mom always told him, like, that's why, he loved his mom so much. Not only because it was his mom, obviously, but he said that she believed in, like, she always told him, like, you're going to be the best. You're going to be this. You're going to be amazing. Like, no one's going to be able to tell you that, yada, yada, yada. And he said he just, in an interview, he said it, that he just took off and kind of ran with it.
Yeah, yeah, but she did her job as a mother because, like we talk about, It ain't not only just some parents. A lot of times it could be the teachers. Because I've had teachers, especially in high school. By the time I got to,
No,
you ain't gonna be
teachers in
shit.
y'all generation was
Like,
mean too
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
fuck.
yeah, yeah. Telling nigga he ain't gonna be shit. One of the
Yeah,
coaches,
especially in New York.
nigga, you going to jail? Like, nigga, don't tell me no shit like that, bitch.
Yeah, I'm already knowing, especially in the East Coast. Like,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
already knowing.
But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
the teachers were mean. I mean, my teachers were all right. They were, they were like okay. Like the Catholic school ones, nah, they were rude. They were like they didn't say you ain't gonna be shit, but they were just very like basic and bland. But then once I got to middle school, it was like some cool, better teachers coming out that were really caring and actually like really cared about you as a kid.
yeah. Now and
But I
those
would say,
those are
yeah,
the
my mom
gems.
told me her teachers were mean as fuck.
Yeah,
Cause they could hit y'all
yeah,
back
yeah.
then, right?
Well, not my by my generation of childhood, that was kind of over. Like there might have been
For real?
maybe there might have been like
Right, we
one.
still got paddled.
No, my mom got
Well,
hit in school.
Like I
Yeah,
there
she
might have
said
been
yeah, we
one
still
real.
kid
got
that got
paddled.
hit. To about one kid.
All right, she's
I might have been the
53.
kid, but nigga might have got hit with a ruler like one time. In elementary school. But other than that,
Well, they did go to Catholic school, kindergarten. My aunt and my they did go to Catholic school, I believe, for K through I think K through second or something like that.
I
I
went to
don't know, but
public school, and I remember Miss Sanders. She called it the magic wand. She had like these three rulers that was taped together. Um, yeah, they still it wasn't everybody get paddled, but like you, yeah. My husband, he said even with him and his friends, they got paddled too.
no. My mom definitely did. My mom and her sister Trudy. My mom
Yeah,
is
we went to
53.
public
I think
school.
Trudy's 55 then. Yeah, they're like a year and a half apart.
but yeah, life in general, just slowly, you know, tear away your dreams, the disappointments, and all of that type of shit. And a lot of people, how sometimes they say certain shit just got to be in you, but I think a lot of times that shit that's in you is instilled in you once again by your parents. So like,
No, for
you
sure.
like
Your
you
upbringing.
you trying to run your little
Eat.
lemonade stand, and mommy, nobody brought lemonade for me today. Well, go open that bitch back up tomorrow, nigga, and do it again. You know what I mean? Because those, if how you cope
But
with
you're
this,
saying parents they shouldn't say that, or they should?
I think they should. Meaning like,
Yeah, they should.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like with failure, like failure in childhood, um, so like let's say mean versus good parent. A mean parent might have been like, I knew you wasn't gonna sell no lemonade anyway. You know what I'm saying? In that
Right.
scenario, that one sentence might have damaged that child's whole self-esteem going forward with anything
No, for sure.
that they will try to attempt
For
to do,
sure.
as
They put that
opposed
in movies.
to
Oh
the
yeah,
child
definitely.
who opens it up and nobody come that day one, but then they say, don't worry, we're gonna put the little drinks back out there tomorrow, and somebody gonna buy some stuff for you tomorrow, and then that next day somebody do buy something, and then it helps nurture the kids confidence and self-esteem, you know and then it may not be in the front of their mind, but in the back of their mind, they like, damn, my parents, they behind me. You know what I mean? They supporting me with my little thing here. But my uncle said some shit to me when I
Yep.
was a teenager that stuck with me. I probably done told y'all 8,000 times. He said, nigga, you even if you want to fail, you can't fail. And I thought it was just him
Mm,
talking that drunk talk to me as a teenager.
mm,
But when I look at my lowest lows and darkest moments, I've emerged better than ever. Um, when shit might be looking bleak somehow, some way, out of nowhere. And when I mean out of nowhere, it's not like magical or nothing, but like when I'm not making bad decisions, my good decisions be so on point that when I make some dumb decisions, I look and be like, oh shit, maybe you need some money for some shit that just popped up out of nowhere, and you like, damn, how am I gonna get this? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I had this other account I set up, or I forgot about this, or boom, 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 boom. So I just tie all that shit back to that blessing that my uncle put on me. You know what I mean? I look at it as a blessing. Maybe it was a positive affirmation he put on me. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's psychological, spiritual, whatever, but you know, that is something that I do I am consciously aware of as far as one of the positive things that a family member has said to me that I keep with me through my whole life.
Yeah. Same with my dad. He always had this saying, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. And he, you know, people remember that, like, and that always, some days it'd be tough, but like I remember he always said, and he lived it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, sure, my dad got into he didn't get sick until he got into his 80s, and then even then, shoot, the doctors were like, "Oh, we don't know how much longer he gonna make it." Every time, next thing you know, a few days later, he he out the hospital. So like we used to look at the doctors, they was like, "I can't believe like he was a fighter." Like, and he always said that. He said, you put your mind to. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can
Mm-hmm.
make it happen."
No, that's a fact.
So yeah, it's definitely that stuff. It sticks with you, especially with kids because they're very impressionable. So like, if it's a lot of negativity, if you tell me not gonna be never be anything, especially in project houses, like you little in, you ain't gonna never be anything.
Oh yeah,
Blah
yeah.
blah, just like your daddy.
Exactly. Yeah, and I trust me. I've heard
Who's
about
who said this?
shit.
Sorry,
My mom
That's what
said that
people be
shit to me
saying
a
it to
lot.
their kids.
Your daddy
Oh,
ain't
I
Yeah.
shit.
know, I know. That should be fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they don't be realizing that do damage too. Your daddy ain't shit. You
But
ain't
it be
gonna be
people
shit.
who be getting it done to them. They don't break the curse. My nanny used to talk to her kids like that. Yeah, she did. But my aunts all made the decision, like, we don't want to talk to our kids like that because we got talked to like that. So people just don't be wanting to break generational curses either. Most people, I guess, don't know how, probably either. A lot of hurt, the saying, hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm. Like
Hmm.
like go
I
back
had to
to that.
learn that.
And then it's the simple shit, the other simple shit of life that I learned, even though I learned it later in life. Literally, um, I was around your age, Bree, when this gym really just came out of nowhere. The moment you change your mind is the moment you change your life, and that is a motherfucking fact.
I 100% agree. As soon as I stopped complaining and, became, I mean, you definitely attributed to me being a lot more solution based, but spiritualism in general, you want more, baby? Spiritualism in general, really, the whole, law of attraction and all that stuff, that shit really changed my life for real because that's, it's that exact thing. If you can change the way you think, you can change your whole life.
Yeah, for sure.
And it definitely, is why how I'm at where I'm at even right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just kept saying everything will work out for me. Like if you come to my crib, I got sticky notes on every mirror that says everything is always working out for me. I'm aligned with the universe. Like, things might happen, but they happen for a reason and something good always comes from it. Like I have all those little tidbits around the house because, sometimes you have to remind yourself of those things
Yeah,
because you be getting into like, that fucking spiral of woe me.
yeah,
Especially me, I was, raised like that, just fucking sulking. Like, no, go find a fucking solution.
yeah,
Yeah, I was raised the same way too. You figure it out. You can, you're smart. You figure it out and do it. True people that's not even smart, they figure it out. They get other people to help them. They surround
Right.
themselves with people that, you
Girl, I
know,
feel like sometimes the more like I don't know how to really say, it, but I guess the less stupid people. I mean, the more stupid people, they were the ones getting ahead because they was the ones cheating everything.
yeah. Well, shit. So it's funny to stay right there. The less stupid people. Sometimes niggas be too smart for their own good. Meaning, when you in a negative situation, that intelligence can work against you a lot of times because we overthink shit. Like we'll overthink the negative and totally overlook any positive part of the situation because we so focused on the negative aspect. That dumb or the less smart individual, they like, well, shit, all they might see is the good. Well, okay, they about to repossess my car, but shit, something gonna work out. Goddamn it! Matter of fact,
Hmm.
let me ask somebody for help because they dumb and they know they dumb. Let me ask somebody for help. And,
Right.
and then next thing
That
you
that
know,
is true.
somebody come through and help them or bless them. That smart person, or let's make it smart slash prideful person, might have too much pride to ask for help, or they think
Wait,
they
wait, wait,
too
wait, wait.
smart
Do it.
to have to ask somebody to help them figure it out.
Do
If
it.
it's a figure it out thing,
Bite it.
no, like if the shit is
There you go.
tough like that, ask for help or whatever, because that dumb person, shit, they ain't got time to be trying to do no
The smart
calculate.
person want to come off smart. The dumb person, like, I'm already dumb. Fuck it.
Hey, can you help me over here? And then
Right.
they on their way back into like they out of the solution back into chill mode, and your smart ass trying to you still in struggleville.
Yeah, I did used to be like that, especially in school. I never used to want to ask. I'd be like, no, I'm smart. I'm smart. I don't need help. I don't need help. And I'm like, fuck, I need help.
Mm-hmm. Because like I told you back from like my little nerd days. I like looking back. This conversation definitely means even more looking back because the kids that definitely was not smart, them niggas was smarter than me because they like, yo, Dre, what's the answer to this? Ah, you know, I done spent the 3 hours studying the night before, and they asked me in 2 seconds, and then I give them the answer, and they did zero studying, and they got the same A that I got.
Well, see, that's what people like Trump and people like all them rich successful people. They're not smart. They use smart people around them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's a fact.
Yeah, a lot of those like people in power got like a underman who is probably like a dweeb ass lame. Don't nobody know him, but that's they got them help them
That's the secret
tremendously get to.
weapon.
Hmm.
That's the secret weapon, nigga. That they keeping the cut, and it just ties back
Exactly.
even to that 48 laws of power type shit, which is,
You want water?
there's a couple of laws, but the one that comes to mind the most is something to the effect of something about
Wow,
if
wow.
you have that cow or some shit, like if you got a cow that you can milk, don't fuck with no other cows. Keep milking that one cow because
Yes, I've heard that
meaning
saying.
meaning like if we at McDonald's and Bree is the shift lead and I'm just a nigga on fries, but then she bump up to be assistant manager, and because I'm cool with her on the smoke breaks and we mad tight, now I become the shift lead, and then fast forward, she becomes the manager, and then I become the assistant manager. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's that type
Yeah.
of motion. So that person who was the dweeb, that's the person that been low key giving them the game or giving them the answers to the difficult questions, even though they don't have the personality trait to be out in front. Like I say it in a heartbeat, like, and maybe it's a Virgo thing. I can be a leader if need be, but I'm more of a number two than a number one. Like, you know, so like if there's the general and whoever is underneath the general,
Good job, baby.
I you know, I'm more suited for that type of thing. Like the nigga who give the general the advice. You know what I'm saying? Or the lieutenant or whatever the fuck it's called.
I think I fall into that role too because I don't necessarily want the pressure and all that come with being at the very tippy top or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
a lot come
but
with
I
that,
but I
but
do want
like
to be close to the top, but I don't want to be
top
at the top.
exactly, yeah. Hmm.
But the people at the top, they have a different component where they may not have all of the answers, but they have no fear of being at the top, if that makes sense. Like every it's
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. but they still
You want
need that.
more?
It's definitely a symbiotic
More?
relationship for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Nah, see, I want to be the person at the top, and I want to have people under me, but I want them to feel appreciated. Like I don't want to be like that person that's at the top and doesn't say like, "Hey, I got here because of this, 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 and this." Like I want to be like, "Yeah, I got here. I'm the face, but these are really the people who got me here."
Yeah.
But
See, I think that's what happened with Trump and Elon. Like, both of them are too power hungry, right? So Elon helped Trump get to where he is. He got him back into the presidency. But Trump probably got to a point where he was like, okay, I did. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
wasn't, acknowledging Elon and doing what he told Elon he probably was gonna do. Elon like, oh, bet, okay,
Yeah. Because they
I
both
got
got
you here.
them type 1
yeah, they're
personalities.
narcissists. Yeah,
Yep, I knew
yeah,
that wasn't
type
gonna
one.
last. I said that
Exactly. I was trying to.
bromance or whatever they had going on, I said they ain't gonna last because both of them too headstrong, both of them narcissists. They not gonna,
Like
two people like that not gonna
I'm
mesh
the
well.
man. I want to be the leader. Like you can't be.
Mm-hmm.
Both hands can't be on the steering wheel. Somebody got to be the passenger.
Exactly. You can't have both people that want to be the man.
Exactly.
Elon should have just ran his damn self.
But he ain't from America though. Like
Oh yeah, that's right.
American
I always forget that alien ass nigga ain't from here.
to be a president, you have to be a United States citizen, which is why even though back at least in the 90s and 80s, people would joke that one day Schwarzenegger might be president. He got goddamn close by being governor of California, but he
Yeah,
is not an American citizen, so that reality never would have came true. Now, if there was if it was
I didn't
allowed,
realize that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would have probably been president, dead ass.
Why did they love him so much? I'm so
Well, to
confused.
me, he took advantage of I think the mentality that got Reagan in, because like when I grew up, like Ronald Reagan was like one of the main presidents or whatever.
Yeah, my nanny said she loved Reagan.
Reagan was a movie star, back in his younger days, which is what helped his popularity. You know what I'm saying? And same
Oh,
thing
he
was,
was?
yeah. Apparently, he was that. He was like a fly Hollywood
Nah,
nigga back in the day.
he wasn't an ugly. I mean, I don't like white dudes, but he was alright. Like I would say he was, handsome.
So
Yeah, he was
like,
he was an actor in like different westerns and different older movies and stuff.
yeah. So
Oh wow, I never knew that.
exactly. And then technically, so Schwarzenegger went through that lane. And if he would have been an American instead of being, from Germany or Austria, wherever he's from, he would have definitely probably been a president. You know what I mean?
They say that about The Rock. They'd be
Yeah,
like, The Rock for president.
shit.
They love Dwayne
And then
Johnson.
technically, Donald Trump followed that same lane. You know what I mean? He may not
Yeah,
have
but
been a
he was
movie
reality
star,
TV,
but yeah, he's a
please.
famous TV personality who became president.
No, I didn't even
Yeah,
realize. I
see,
thought
that's
Trump
the
was the first one.
yeah. Oh, what, the first TV president now?
Hmm.
Yeah, like traditionally you would have to become a lawyer or some shit like
Yeah, like
that,
I thought you had to be.
or a
Yeah, like I thought you
senator,
had to have been
governor.
a governor or something in politics, like Obama
Like shit, nowadays, nigga, all you
and
get is a
Bush.
TV show. I mean, a TV career or a movie career. You might have the same chance as one of them niggas that's in Congress. Goddamn it.
No, literally, fuck. That would piss me off if I was like, what the fuck?
Thank y'all for rocking with me, supporting the channel. If you're loving the content, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, hit the Cash App if you definitely feeling it, and even if you want to make special requests of future content that you would like to see me do videos on, that's what it's there for. Every dollar helps the channel grow bigger, better, quality over time. So with that said, I'll holla at y'all. Thank you. I appreciate it.